There he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
Everything good, MP?
Oh, say does that.
I'm just saying, I make this in 2 days. It is evident I do better win.
Thanks for joining our Tuesday night broadcast of the NBA on 2K Sports. And if you claim to be a basketball purist, and Greg, I know you do, one thing you gotta love watching is great ball movement.
Which is something both of these teams take pride in. It's always fun to watch guys be unselfish with the ball and look to make each other better.
And talk about competitive spirit, MP has come out and, in essence, dedicated this season to winning his own matchups.
And so far, so good, right? I know it's early in the process, but MP is taking his own words to heart. He's beating his man at both ends, which gives their team an advantage. So if the rest of his teammates can just hold their own, they're going to win a lot more games.
The starters for the Utah Jazz, they've got Mobley, and it's Howard in at the power forward. Thunder passes to Barnes. Here's Thunder. Knocked away. Howard with it. Pass to Mobley. Here's Thunder. Launches a three. That one doesn't drop. Mobley inside. Defended by Sharp. That one goes. Count it.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Well, when you are the aggressor this early, it is intimidating.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Pelicans shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
And so it's Mobley now who brings it up for the Utah Jazz. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And that one was all about offensive execution, running your plays, picking your spots.
Yeah, and you know, coaches honestly wouldn't have as much to do if guys shot like that every night.
Utah shooting their first free throws of the night.
And when you got a team percentage of about 81%, you're going to be one of the elites in this league.
And defensively, Stan, the Pelicans look to try and switch as much as they can.
Yeah, Kevin, and it makes sense with their personnel. It can mean reduced minutes for traditional centers at times, but that's the defensive philosophy they've committed to.
With the drive, and he overshot that one, missing.
Just strong work defensively there in the low post. You got to be tough down in the paint.
Yeah, that's an outstanding defensive stand in close.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
Yeah, well, his offensive contributions are going to be very important in this game. So it's good they've already got him in a rhythm.
He takes advantage of them in every way possible.
And Greg, he lures them into a trap on the steal, and then bang, straight to the bucket.
Turning great defense into great offense. That's the kind of stop you're looking for.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
A steal. Here's Burton. Against Phoenix, he was really on his game. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played. And that one is good.
Well, they gave him the mid-range. Smart idea to take that one.
Poke loose. Potter the pass to Thunder. Sharp against Mobley. Lets the three fly. They get it again.
Well, you have to love the hustle to follow it up there. Timed that tip perfectly.
Jazz have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Three-pointer. Bangs home the trifecta. Mobley's got 5 now. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
It reminds me of that Cameo song, Back and Forth.
Here's Thunder driving to the basket.
And going to the windmill dunk to turn this place on its ear.
This crowd is stunned. Here's Freeman Liberty. Last game he had 12. Barnes grabs the miss.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Here's Potter. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Oh, let's go home. That was just ridiculous.
I do not remember the last time I saw a dunk like that in a game. On our AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you just saw an explosive highlight. Pass to Mobley. Here's Burton. Wood covering. Here's Freeman Liberty. 6 to shoot. And the defense didn't have position. They whistle a blocking foul, and he'll go to the line. We're only around halfway through this very long season, GA. This is when the grind, I think, really kicks in.
Yeah, you think about the physical and mental toll this game takes on you. And I miss being out there, but, man, I tell you, it can be a grind.
Teague is checked in for the Jazz. From deep, Wood. Utah with the rebound. Last time they met was in Utah.
Not a close contest either. The last time they got together, everyone in the rotation played solid, and the bench was the difference.
Yeah, give credit to those guys for playing with...
And it's a great finish!
Oh, my.
And that's a special play coming from the one spot.
You know, his passing can take a backseat for that dunk. Wow!
Wow, that is an impressive vertical for a point guard. My goodness.
Here's Freeman Liberty. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
Boy, both teams racking up the points to start this game.
Yeah, and I'm sure both coaches would like to see more defensive intensity from their teams.
And so it looks like the Pelicans will retain possession here. New Orleans making a switch here. Evans is checked in. Lets it go from deep. Here's Potter. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Doing his job on the glass and doing it with force.
And Greg, it's not everybody in the league who can make those kinds of plays.
Well, he gets paid to be a factor on the glass. That's a nice dunk to finish it off.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Thunder passes to Evans. Here's Thunder. Pass to Wood. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Here's Deminick. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And here's Sharp. Still yet to score. Pass to Wood. Lets it go with a 3. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3. And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for the Pelicans.
Wow, those early blocks are key. They are intimidating their opponents and making them hesitate.
And they are also just outworking the opposition in transition. When the break is on, they've continued to find ways to score.
Duncan, he's checked in for Utah.
Substitution on the court.
Teague for three. And that one is off.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Thunder passes to Evans. And Evans with a stuff.
Pushing the action, getting others involved. He does it time and time again.
Yeah, when you're moving the ball like that, it just keeps everyone engaged in the game.
Pass to Teague. And here's Duncan. Nice ball movement by Utah. Mobley wide open. And the three ball is good. Mobley's got 8 points.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from three. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Kicks it out to Wagner. Three-pointer on the way. Utah with the rebound. And the foul called on Thunder. That is his first foul of the game. And so in the game for the Jazz, we've got Barnes, and it's Crawford at the point. Pass to Barnes. No good on the three. Pelicans trail by 4. And Sharp has it in the corner. The three-pointer, no good. Jazz shooting a superb 63% from the field. They set the pick. Here's Burton. That three off the mark. Burton's gone 1 of 3 from the field here. Here's Thunder. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Personal foul.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Jazz.
Well, they keep finding ways to get to the free throw line. The defense is being overly aggressive, and they're baiting them into fouls.
And I also have to bring up their passing game. They've been moving the ball with great precision so far and creating great looks for their teammates.
Dan, we have so many great players in this NBA. I mean, every night, from top to bottom, each roster, there are so many great players. But in your opinion, who is the toughest to game plan against?
Wow, that is a tough question because there's so many of them where there's no good answers. You know, let's take Jokic, for example. If you play him one-on-one, he's going to score virtually every time. If you come in, double-team him, send a second defender, he's going to make the right pass all the time. There's no way to absolutely stop him. You just do the best you can to limit their team.
The great ones always have answers, don't they, Stan?
If they didn't, Kevin, they wouldn't be the great ones.
That's right. And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Pass to Burton. Back to Crawford. Shot clock at 6. Puts up a deep three.
And in this quarter, they just haven't had the success from beyond the arc that they began the game with.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Well, guys, Thunder in the last outing against Sacramento played superb basketball. He added 29 points, and his active hands were on display again with a lot of steals. He was remarkable in that game. It's not often you see a player that dominant, and I'm sure he wants to keep it going. Guys?
Excellent, David. Thank you. Greg, how impressive was it watching him completely take over?
Unstoppable. They won that game because of his effort and just his overall relentlessness.
Yeah, and we're likely to see them go to him early on, see if he can't replicate that performance.
A three-pointer is right on target.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from...
And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans Pelicans with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. A terrific tempo and a great pace. The fast break has been a central part of their offense. And we've got more on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
Now that we're close to knowing who will be participating, some of these guys may be in the gym early and leaving late, shooting threes on a timer.
And looking back on that first half, it certainly hasn't gone as planned for the Utah Jazz.
You talked about...
Thanks for spending halftime with us.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Now, here's Mobley. We've got Barnes. Wood out there with Thunder. And it's Potter in at the 4. That's the Pelicans' 5. And the foul called on Thunder. That will be foul number 5 on him.
Yeah, and that's number 5. One more, and he is going to be done for the day.
Now, into the lineup for your Pelicans.
Demignon covered by Barnes. Here's Burton. Offline with his 3. Pelicans leading by 6. Thunder passes to Wood. Mobley left side. Over Sharp. Mobley misses.
Well, the analytics don't like it, but if the defense is giving it up, I like that shot selection despite the miss.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
4 personal foul. First team foul.
And he knocks down the first one. Teague is checked in for Howard. And so he hits both.
And he's shown a great touch at the line. They've tested the big guy, but he's come through.
Here's Freeman Liberty. Pass to Mobley. Wood against Teague. Back to Mobley. Shot clock at 5. This one for 3. Another miss by Utah.
And they start the second half with 3 straight misses.
Drives to the hoop. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up.
4 personal foul. Second team foul.
That free throw good from Thunder. And Utah making a change here. Duncan's checked in. He hits both from the stripe. Jazz trail by 10. Here's Freeman Liberty. 7 points in the game. Mobley outside. Duncan outside. Freeman Liberty.
Now that's what I call a momentum changer.
Yeah, when you've got a point guard, that kind of spring, no lead is safe.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to finish with some authority, trying to fire his guys up.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Barnes passes to Thunder. Now Wood. There's the screen. There's the triple. That missed basket now makes him 4 of 8 from the field. Jazz trail by 8. Down low. And it's Potter with the rebound. Potter's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
And it's Barnes on the follow. Barnes has got his first basket.
Oh, smooth. Guys, very good job getting himself in close enough that he could just tip it back in.
Well said. Those kind of plays in the offensive glass can tell the story sometimes, can't they? And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, but also credit the offense there. That's making a play when you really need it, and they need more of those.
Here's Sharp. Off target with the open look.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
Yeah, I get it, but you don't want him forcing things. It's better to get your shots within the flow of the offense.
Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. Knox, he's checked in for Thunder. Timeout called by New Orleans, where there's a lot of emphasis on three-point shooting. Greg, what's your opinion of that?
Well, Kevin, stretching the D isn't just about how far out they have to defend. It's the distance between that and how far in you have to defend. That's why analytics favors shots at the rim and from distance.
We've got 1:28 left to play in the third. Barnes looking around. Pass to Teague. Here's Duncan. It's hauled in by Norris.
All right, I'm just going to say it. He's 0 for the game. Might be time to stop shooting the ball.
Evans. Duncan grabs the rebound. Jazz trail by 14. 55 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Barnes outside. 6 on the shot clock. And he converts the layup. Barnes has got 23.
And so far going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the three-point shot.
Pass to Claxton. Driving the lane over Teague. Claxton with the bucket. Claxton's got 9.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Duncan with the screen for Mobley. Knocks it loose. Now Duncan taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. And here's Barnes for 3. Doesn't go that time. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feet. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Now that is an elite level dig. What a great passer.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Barnes out there with Mobley. Then there's Duncan. Then there's Howard. And it's Teague in at the small forward. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Pelicans.
Well, the defense hasn't done nearly a good enough job of getting back in transition, and they've taken advantage, racking up fast break points against them.
That's been all night long. And also dominating the offensive boards, and that's been winning them a lot of extra looks at the hoop. And loving the strategy. Even though you're well ahead, you want to stay in attack mode.
Yeah, you got to keep going at them. You don't want to leave any hope for a comeback.
Here's Barnes. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. In a moment to check out now what Utah has coming up. On Wednesday, they'll be playing the Rockets in Houston. Then on Friday, they'll go back home and they'll be hosting the Boston Celtics.
And the matchup with the Timberwolves, it's going to be an all-out battle. And you just hope they are rested and able to execute their game plan, as it's going to be a tremendous challenge.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Otter's checked in.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
Barnes outside Teague. Basket is good. The assist from Barnes. 14 points for Teague.
Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Here's Sharp. Here's Barnes. The putback. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Barnes kicks to Mobley. Over Sharp. Again, the Jazz score.
Yeah, despite them being behind, he's been impressive, but he can't do it all by himself.
Sharp on the wing. Fires the three. No good that time.
Well, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Howard can't hit.
Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything you want defending that shot.
Well, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
The Jazz called timeout. The Jazz making a switch here. Crawford's checked in. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Utah's coach address his team, and it was an intense huddle. Coach challenged his team, told them the effort's not there. It has to get better. See if those words work, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Stan, I've always admired you come from a coaching family. Was there a point growing up you knew you wanted to be a coach?
Yeah, I loved being around the game, and so two things happened that drove me into coaching. Number one, I loved baseball, and I couldn't hit one, so that was out. And I wasn't a good enough basketball player to go on that way, so if I wanted to stay involved in the game, that's when I knew I wanted to be a coach.
But your dad had a little bit of that in his background. I say in a little kind of tongue-in-cheek, right? He was a guy that led the way in your interest there.
Yeah, my dad coached for over 40 years, and I think he had a great passion for it and always used to tell us that he never actually felt like he worked a day in his life. He loved it so much.
Following in his footsteps. Terrific story.
And they've gotten very aggressive on the offensive glass here in the second half, getting a lot of second chance points.
The Jazz called timeout. Jazz trail by 20, and the foul called on Thunder. So we see New Orleans taking the W here. They won this game.
Another game, another win. Back to work tomorrow. Visualize a win tonight and go out and take it.